Good morning and happy Friday. So yesterday or last night, I got my new order from Baker Creek. I got my seeds for the 2023 planting season. And I also have some seeds that I wanted to show you that I got a couple months ago. These were some bulk seeds that I bought on Amazon. They were very inexpensive, so I thought I'd give them a try and we'll see what happens this year as I grow them. But I just wanted to show you some of the things I chose for this year. First, I wanted to show you how I store my seeds. This is actually a little case that stores photos. I just put the name of each different class of things that I was going to be growing into the different cases, and it keeps them dry and protects them. And so this is what I use to go through and just keep everything organized throughout the year. So the first thing that I decided to grow this year were some beans. These are some stringless beans. Typically I do the pole beans, but this year I decided to do the bush beans. I thought I would give these a try. They look like they'd be great for canning. And so this was my first choice from Baker Creek. I also decided to do some edamame. So I ordered some of the soybeans. They were rated very good. It's something that's, you can pick a few every night and have them before dinner. It's a really healthy vegetable to grow. So I'm doing these soybeans. And then every year I do a slow bolt cilantro from them. It has very good germination. I've had very good luck with this. It gets very hot where we are in this zone 9B. So I love their slow bolt cilantro. I'm also doing two different kinds of onions. First I have the Elisa Craig onion. It's a nice yellow onion. It looked very good and easy to grow. And I also have a red onion that I'm going to be growing, and it's called Round Tropea. So I'm going to try that one. I had a different one I did last year. It was called Flats of Italy, I believe, and it was a red onion, but I found they were actually very small. So I'm going to try this one. It looks like a nice size onion, and I'll let you know how that works out. I always do a sugar pie pumpkin. I love to grow these, cook them up at the end of the season, and I scoop out all of the pumpkin and freeze it pre-measured for cakes and muffins and things that I make throughout the year. I have a really good recipe for this pumpkin bread, and so I grow these every year. Last year I did a yellow tomatillo. I had so many tomatillos and they were extremely prolific. This year I'm doing the verde tomatillo. I canned a green verde sauce, which my husband and I just love to make like an enchilada casserole. So I thought I would try this one and see if it's a little bit milder. The yellow one is very strong for a sauce. But anyway, I'm going to give this one a try this year. I also have a cucumber that I wanted to try called a Monica cucumber. This is supposed to be a pickling or a slicing cucumber, and it sets fruit without pollination. And last year I did grow several different varieties, but I think this year I'm just going to grow this one. Maybe I'll grow a regular long cucumber, but I have trellises set up to grow my cucumbers, and they always do pretty well. I have several different tomatoes that I'm going to be growing. This is a Paul Robeson tomato. It's a very delicious, kind of a popular black tomato. It's kind of a medium tomato. They do very well in the heat here. I'm also going to be doing a Brandywine tomato. And I got a free seed for something called a spoon tomato. So these are very tiny. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'm probably only going to get one plant that I want to grow of this, because I don't know, that just kind of looks like a pain in the neck to pick, but I'm going to try it anyway. It might be good, who knows. And then I've got the German chamomile. I do like to dry the chamomile and make that into tea. I've got a Thai sweet basil that I'm going to be growing. And I got another seed, a free seed for something called a datil tomato. And this is supposed to be a very hot tomato. I mean, I did a lot of hot tomato, pepper. This is a hot pepper, not a tomato. And I grew like Carolina Reapers and some very hot peppers last year. I still have them in the freezer, and honestly, I'm probably gonna throw them away because they're just too hot to make into salsa or anything. So I may try one of these seeds, grow it into a plant and see what I think of it. But you know, I was planning this year on just doing the cold peppers, so we'll see how that goes. I did get a leek that I'm growing this year. I haven't done that for a couple of years because I had quite a few frozen from 2 years ago. And the ones I did 2 years ago were the large giant leeks. This is just an average size leek. It's called the Corentin leek. So I'm gonna give that one a try. And then I also have a monster yellow pepper. I do love having a nice stuffing pepper that we can make stuffed peppers throughout the season. And then of course my favorite seed of all times is the spaghetti squash. So I've grown this one before. It's extremely prolific. I get a lot of squash, pretty much lasts me throughout the year. And I substitute spaghetti noodles for these, and I cook it just like spaghetti, and it's very, very good. So these are my Baker Creek seeds, and I also wanted to show you some of the seeds that I got from Amazon and some of the things I'm going to be growing throughout the rest of the year. So this is my tomato catalog, and I had some Better Boys and some Early Girls that I did last year. So I'll probably grow a few of those. Of course, I love a good beefsteak tomato. See, these are it was like a big packet of various seeds that I got on Amazon. This was one of them, was the beefsteak. Just a regular cherry tomato. I'll grow a couple of those. I love those in the salad. And then I've got one I've never tried before. It's called the Ace 55. So I'm going to try that tomato, see how that one does. I've got some that I bought from a tomato catalog a while back. These are all kind of, I don't know, different kinds of tomatoes. I'm not sure which of these I'm gonna do. I've got an Anna Russian, a German Johnson, a Chef's Choice, an 1884, and a Suez. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for these. I didn't particularly, you know, they weren't my favorite when I grew them a couple of years ago. So we'll see. And then I actually got these last year from Baker Creek. They were free tomatoes that I got with my packet. I'd never grown these yellow pear tomatoes, but I absolutely love them. Not only are they really sweet, they're also very, very, very prolific, and they're just wonderful to put in a salad with the little red tomatoes. So I'm gonna be growing 3 or 4 of those because I really, really liked them. And then I had bought these from Baker Creek last year. It's the Kellogg's beefsteak tomato. It's the yellow tomato. It actually did really well. So I'm gonna grow one of those plants. And I also had bought last year these Martino's Roma tomatoes. Now these were very small. They didn't get real dark red, but they're very good. I actually froze quite a few of them, and I'm still throwing them into soups and stews. So those are the tomato plants that I'm gonna be growing this year, just to give you an idea. And then I have some extra pepper plants that I'm gonna be growing that I actually grow every year. And these are the Ajvarski pepper. That is a lovely pepper. I had, well, for the last 2 years I've grown this, and it just has wonderful, big, deep, thick skin red tomatoes. They're extremely delicious. I have some green bell peppers that I ordered from another company, which I'll probably grow a couple of those. I think I'm going to stay away from the hot peppers this year. I'm not even going to go over those with you. I do have another green pepper I'm going to be growing. And then probably one of my favorite peppers is the Jimmy Nardello. These are probably one of the best peppers I've ever grown. I have more peppers when I grow these than you can even imagine. And I usually do 7 or 8 of these pepper plants. And what I do, we eat them fresh all summer, but whatever else I have, I clean them. I take out the seeds and any of the larger part inside, and I go ahead and just make these into I cut them into little pieces and freeze them, and I use them all year long. They're wonderful. And I also have a California Wonder that I did last year, did very well, so I'll probably do that one again. And that's probably it for the peppers. As far as everything else, I just have the standard herbs and some root vegetables. Of course, I'm going to do a few carrots. I'm going to do I actually have several different kinds of carrots that I'm going to be growing. And I always do beets. I have some turnip seeds, but I'm not a huge fan of turnips or rutabagas, so I probably won't be doing those. But I always do radishes, carrots, beets. I love all those types of vegetables, so I will be growing those for my root vegetables. And that's about it. That's really what I'm planning on growing for the 2023 season. Thank you for joining me today to go over my new seeds that I got and the things I'll be planting for 2023. I'll be doing some videos on starting these seeds on a hot pad, and then I actually put them into little pots. I put them under grow lights, and by the time spring comes, I just take the plants and move them out to the garden. I'm also going to be doing a video this year on how to make your own little pots from either newspaper or different kind of bags. So I have a lot of stuff in store for the next couple months getting prepared for the gardening. And if this is some content that you're interested in and you enjoy gardening, I hope that you'll join me. And if you're not a subscriber, please hit the button and subscribe to my video. If you give me a thumbs up, it really helps me with my analytics, and I'm really trying to grow my channel. I hope if you are a gardener or a canner, or you enjoy all the different kinds of homesteading things there are, that maybe we can share ideas. If there's things you'd like to see, that have to do with gardening and homesteading, just send me a message. Feel free to send a comment on my channel and see what we can do. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.